And that habit of keeping, is sort of still there. When you want higher and higher and higher, you want more and more and more and more.
Yeah. As every billionaire or millionaire, the one who is the richest in the world, do you really think they are like unsatisfied and unhappy with their life, and they have lots of problems and sufferings, whatever?
You're doing this just by pure habit, like you're not really gaining. I mean, you're getting like really small increments of happiness when you achieve certain things, but then once those are gone, you're always chasing the next thing.
Yeah.
So this is like the dukkha.
Lots of people have this misunderstanding that partying, roaming, and having lots of money and all this giving you a satisfaction life and a happy life.
Yeah, we're really clumsy.
Oh yeah.
We're very clumsy. We're trying to look for happiness, but we're so clumsy that we look for it outside ourselves. So actually, like knowing ourselves is the sort of the way to find that happiness that we're so frantically looking for. So if we were to accept the things that we like seek for, like sort of like relationships, instead like money, fame, all these things, if we accepted that they were impermanent, we probably wouldn't be like going after them so much.
We want to be happy, we want to be enlightened, we want to be free from suffering, but many of us, we don't know the path. According to you, what do you think, what is Buddhism? If you need to explain this in your way, what will you say?
It's the path to understanding the truth.
Understanding the truth, right?
Just understand reality or understand yourself.
Understand yourself.
Actually, I think it's synonymous to say if you understand yourself, you will understand reality.
Why we need to know the truth and why it's significant to make our life meaningful. Hello everyone, Tashi the Lake. My name is Norbu. I run a small YouTube. Through that, I make videos related to mind, life, and also Buddhism and its philosophy and in practice. And this is my second podcast video with my dear friend. He's Spanish. So today I'm very happy to make this video. We planned it from a long time that we wanted to talk on Buddhism and also about the life and suffering and how to overcome from these things. So today it's gonna happen. So not taking longer time, I want to welcome my friend to this podcast video, Mr. Nicola, and his monk name is Temba. So firstly, I welcome you to my channel, Nico.
Jule, thank you so much.
Jule, Tashidele. So first of all, if people wanted to know about you, so can you please give your little introduction about yourself?
So yeah, my name is Temba or Nico, and I've been in Zongsa now for over 3 years. This is like my 4th academic year.
Okay.
And before this, I was living mostly in Europe. I come from Spain, and I lived in many parts of Europe, England, and Germany. And yeah, for many years I've been sort of involved in Buddhism and studying scriptures, and then slowly, that kind of led me to here.
Okay. So first of all, I want to know about your the journey about your early life from after the adulthood, when you complete your study and you worked and about those things, what you were doing and
like
before
coming here.
Yeah, before coming here.
Yeah, so I finished university in 2006.
Like before monk, or indulge into a Buddhism or whatever this really Buddhist practice and all before that.
Yeah. Well, I came across Buddhism properly in 2012. That's when I first went to the Tibetan monastery in Spain.
Okay.
And then that's kind of where I sort of started. But at that time, 2012, I just gone to university. So I was actually in England.
Okay.
So so my contact was mostly about meditation, not really studying scripture too much, but occasionally having some teachings, receiving some empowerments, initiations like this, and yeah, I was mostly like studying at university that time. And then in 2016, I finished university. And
it means from the university you are connected to Buddhism, and you used to study, and here you are interested.
Oh yeah,
from
yeah.
that time.
Yeah, since 2012. Yeah. That's when I first went there. And every holiday, like Christmas and so on, in summer, I used to go back to Spain. And then I had the chance to properly connect more, go to the monastery and like learning some meditation and so on, and but it was very superficial, like I was mostly interested in my studies and going out partying and and
that I'm interested in, like before you are fully focused into the practice or whatever, changing life or whatever, usually we spend mostly we spend life into party and roaming and whatever. So maybe actually, what you were doing before, what was your occupation?
After I finished
after you finished studies,
I was mostly working as a sort of project manager and software engineer. Like mostly in the IT, making programs, and mostly in the healthcare sector.
Okay.
But also in the startup scene as well.
Okay. So with that, you, of course, everyone as a lay people, we like to roam, partying and all. How can you little tell about how's the experience and what was those?
I started very young because in Spain, young people go out partying is like normal. So when I was like 14, 15, I was already going to parties. They used to, in Spain, we have these open clubs where they play music in a park and in the nighttime, and people come, they drink, and so there's no regulation. Maybe now there's regulation, but at the time we used to do a lot of things, And so that kind of continued all the way until like when I went to university. And university was really wild because Manchester's it has sort of like a student city like this. I think there's probably around more than at the time that I was there was probably more than 60,000 students. That's the size of a city. Living in Manchester alone. So every night of the week there was a party in some club or whatever.
Even you become adult now.
By that time I was so I had no restrictions. So we used to do a lot of like student parties, too much,
Okay. So after that, like as you said, you were working you were earning well, like, and also you enjoyed the life, and most importantly, you lived the life who wanted to. Many of us, like even many try to earn well and do many things, lots of things usually we can't do. And lots of people have this misunderstanding that partying, roaming, and having lots of money and all this giving you a satisfaction life and a happy life. So but from your story, it gives a reflex that it is not that enough, only money and enjoying this all not enough to have a satisfaction life, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
So how you finally, like, you start feeling these are not peaceful, you are not satisfied with life, and you should have changed your life, and you should choose a specific path or specific practice, whatever. And when you started feeling this?
It's it happens in small increments with different things, like for example, I think the first one to go was partying.
Okay.
I partied myself to death, and at the end I was just like, why am I even doing this anymore? It's just, so I think in 2017 or something like that, I stopped partying. I was like, no, it was fun when you had like good friends to go with. But at that time, I finished my university course, and all my friends just left. So then I was sort of faced with having to make new friends and in a different scene, not with students anymore. And it was a bit more difficult at that time. But in any case, I had a girlfriend at the time, so it wasn't an issue. I wasn't lonely or anything. But it was the fact that I kind of burned myself out on partying. Is like it's always the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's always so repetitive. You do the same thing every time, and
It's
I'd
become
rather,
bored
yeah, become bored of
about
it.
the time.
And then many other things that came up, you know, like sort of chasing girls as well. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, at that time I had a stable relationship. It was okay, you know. But then after we broke up, then also, yeah, I found myself again looking for another partner.
Yeah.
And after a while, it was like, wow, this gets really tired really quickly, you know. So,
Yeah.
especially then I also moved to Berlin. It was another scene, and yeah, it's just sometimes it becomes sort of I don't know. You lose the plot, like
Plot, and you know, we feel unsatisfied. Like we feel like what we are really doing. Like, you know, we are alive and still we are not living the life. Even we are not doing anything good, isn't it?
Yeah.
This kind of feeling.
Yeah, exactly. And then again, it happened with the job. You know, like we always, especially Westerners, we really want to aim high, have a good career. And I actually reached like a really high place in my career pretty fast, and I was earning very well. I was living very nicely, you know. And then that's when it hit me. It's like, okay, now my quality of life is good. I've fought to get where I was. And that habit of keeping, you know, is sort of still there. Of when you want higher and higher and higher, you want more and more and more and more. And then eventually I kind of, because I was also doing meditation, I was reading scriptures and so on. I was studying Buddhism at the time. And then like through Buddha's words, it was like, yeah, you see, like you're doing this just by pure habit, you know, like you're not really gaining. I mean, you're getting like really small increments of happiness when you achieve certain things. But then once those are gone, you always chasing the next thing. So this is like the dukkha, you know, like it's a cycle of like
So
then
never satisfied and all.
So then I started to realize that as well, you know. So that's when I kind of shifted my focus completely into, well, not completely. I was still working.
Kind of.
Sorry?
It's not worth kind of, you know, living like this. It is not worth like.
Yeah, I mean, there must be a way to live like that. So then that's why I started to, I mean, live like that, but be happy at the same time.
So stable, we need.
Yeah. But then that's when I was still working. I had a really good job. It was very stable. And I could have kept going higher, actually. But then I said to myself, how about I put my energy into something else? So I started studying scriptures instead. This was around 2017. That's when I started, like, you know, really, like, that's when this course by Sakatisan started in Nepal, which is the complete path. Where they teach you from the start of Sutra all the way into Tantra, you know. So I studied that online, you know. And then that was really good. And then that really introduced me to many things. And slowly I started going to even more courses and learning about more scriptures. You know, alongside that. Yeah.
So with this video, you know, I really wanted to connect the people, especially the youngsters and all. You know, like we will try to connect, and you know, you know, I want to ask the questions from them. Like I wanted to question like that, and we will try to connect them. You know, the purpose of this video is to give some information, some ideas, and some, you know, like life lessons, kind of, you know, like only the money, fame, pleasure life is not enough to have a satisfied and happy and peaceful life. So this is the most purpose, and you know, with that we need to choose a specific path. Either it's a Buddhism, either it's a meditation, whatever. It's in your hand. But with you, I want to ask you that you said you were interested from the university in Buddhism, right? Before that, were you believing in any other religions or in any faith and all?
No. My parents raised me without any religious faith.
No religious.
Yeah. My mother, she was a spiritual seeker. Like she was always looking for something.
Okay.
And then in 2012, when I went to this monastery the first time, I brought my mother with me. And then she like got into it much deeper than I did from the start. You know? I think she met Minderling Kanto Rinpoche that same year, 2012 or 2013. And since then, she's been studying with her, and also with Sakyakumar Rinpoche. She's been studying with both of them since
so
that
in
time.
This between, you know, like I want to ask, like there is lots of religions. So how you feel like interested in Buddhism, or you know, your focus just came to the Buddhism and all at the direct?
Yeah, I just
usually, you know, you should be like in your surroundings are maybe Christian, right?
Yeah. People were Christian around
mostly
me.
a Christian and all.
Yeah.
And so what's the connection and what's the motivation or the whatever that lead you to the Buddhism?
I don't know. It's like asking you why were you born in a Buddhist country like in Ladakh. It's like I don't really know. It just happens.
It just happened.
It just I naturally felt like drawn towards Buddhism. I was like, yeah, that's my. Even when I was like a child,
from the childhood.
Yeah, I was like, if I wanted to be anything, I want to be a Buddhist. But I had no access to anything at the time when I was very young.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like, I don't know, like very very young, like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I was making up my own theories about karma, even though I never learned about karma from anybody. I was like writing down, okay, today I did these good things and these bad things. So like the balance is like this. I remember I used to do that, So I think naturally I kind of...
That's why, we talk about the karma, how the karma works like that, So today I'm really asking you a question as, I'm not a Buddhist. Because, I want to ask such questions that it doesn't matter you are a Buddhist or you are a Hinduist, you are a Christian. Then what we need to do is we need something worthful and, like meaningful life, which make you yourself satisfied and other also. So as you, like now you are connected to the Buddhism, right? And okay, it's very, maybe nice, but according to you, what do you think, what is Buddhism? If you need to explain this in your way, what will you say?
It's the path to understanding the truth.
Understanding the truth, right?
Just understand reality or understand yourself.
Understand yourself.
Actually, I think it's synonymous to say if you understand yourself, you'll understand reality. I think it's just the path for that. Other religions, they're more dogmatic in the sense that they give you a set of rules to follow, and then you just kind of fall into that box, and then you're happy because you have sort of something that's guiding you. You have some sort of structure, and because we're creatures of habit, we like habits. We like to have like some kind of structure, routine. So then some religions give you that, but Buddhism doesn't really give you that. Buddhism is like, okay, it gives you that. That's why we call it yana, like Mahayana, Sarvakayana, because like it's a vehicle. Buddha gives you this box for you to move towards the truth or towards knowing yourself, and then you have to let go of that box. So that's why it's very different from other religions.
So what is knowing yourself and knowing the truth?
So from a more superficial level,
and also why we need to know the truth and why we need to know ourselves?
The why is a good question. It's mostly because of dukkha, and, because of our dukkha, suffering. There's more, not so much, the word would be more dissatisfaction, or like this constant need for sort of look for something, because we're constantly looking for happiness all the time. This is what the Shantideva said. We're looking for happiness. And I mean, from the Dzogchen point of view, if you ask them why are we looking for happiness, and they'll say, well, because we want to come back home. The true nature of our self, the true nature of our mind is this pure sort of luminosity, like this joy or like compassion. All the good qualities are there, and we're sort of always wanting to go back to that. That's why we always.
But we are wandering outside.
Yeah, we're clumsy. We're very clumsy. We're trying to look for happiness, but we're so clumsy that we look for it outside ourselves. So actually, like knowing ourselves is the sort of the way to find that happiness that we're so frantically looking for. We're looking for this happiness, and actually it's inside. It's inside. It's just knowing ourselves that will lead us to like what we're looking for. We want to come back home, as they say. So that's the why. Why we want to understand ourselves. That's one why. I mean, that's dukkha for ourselves, but also for others, because in the end, we are sociable animals. We live among people, and we have loved ones, and people that we don't love yet. I guess I would say like that.
So you wanted to say like we are searching for happiness outside, but actually it's within ourselves. Is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so what is the why we need to know the truth and why it's significant to make our life meaningful? So what is truth actually?
Then we can start from a very superficial level. for example, one very important truth is the truth of mitakwa, of impermanence.
Impermanence, yeah.
Impermanent, anicca.
Yeah,
You know, anicca. Actually, anicca.
Wow, you know the many languages, Pali, English, and also the Tibetan.
Only some words, like this.
Yeah, that's good.
Very
Yeah, that's
important
good.
words. Yeah. So knowing these is very important, because actually anicca is actually reality. Reality is change. Everything is constantly changing. You know, everything is moving all the time, and we don't we kind of intellectually accept it. You know, if I were to tell you, oh, the sun doesn't move, you would say like, no, of course it moves. I know it moves. Or even like these stupas, you know, they look like they're gonna last forever, but actually after a few years they'll start to crumble. You know, and everything is impermanent. But we don't actually, we accept it intellectually, but we don't accept it with our hearts. You know, and
that's why we stuck with whatever in a relationship, you know, with our money or whatever. Yeah,
exactly.
And it start causing suffering and all.
Exactly. So if we were to accept that things that we like seek for, like sort of like relationships, you say like money, fame, all these things, if we accepted that they were impermanent, we probably wouldn't be like going after them so much. You know, if we really accepted the impermanence. And also, we wouldn't be as sad when things change. That's the one thing that really causes a lot of suffering, is when we, for example, make a relationship, and then after some years the person changes. And then like, oh, you're not the same person I fell in love with, you know, or like, why are you like this now? And then everything crumbles, you know, and then we suffer a lot. And this is a very big cause of suffering, is not accepting this change.
Nature.
You know, if we accepted that people are like these clouds, you know, they're constantly changing and warping. If we accepted that, then we could be more accepting towards like our partners, the people that are around us, you know. But because we don't actually accept it, we want people to stay the same all the time. We want things to stay all the time.
So it is like we are trying to, you know, like trying to stop the clouds to moving.
Exactly.
Really.
And then that causes, because it's clouds, you can't stop it. You know, so it causes a lot of frustration, a lot of suffering. Actually, not accepting this very superficial level of truth. You know. And once we accept that, and there's many Buddha taught so many methods, and some of the early methods that Buddha taught. For instance, when Buddha was kind of teaching, or at least like answering questions, we could say, because he actually never preached, he was just answering the questions people were making him. People would, especially lay people, they would ask him, so what can we do, you know, to sort of accumulate good karma and so on, and to slowly realize the truth? And he said, be generous. Be generous. Like it's the first transcendental perfection, you know, the first paramita, parotochimpa. Because like generosity is a very powerful practice, because sure, it creates sort of good karma and you can sort of have wealth, but also it sort of makes the mind used to change. Because like to be generous, you kind of have to have something to give. So then when you receive something, and your kind of mind sort of puts it, or like a bubble around it, saying this is mine, mine, and then you give it away, it breaks that bubble of mind, and it becomes someone else's. The more you do that, the more the mind becomes used to change, things coming and going. So people who are very generous, they are very much closer to understanding anicca, impermanence, than people who are not generous. And so even though it's sort of like a practice that generates merit, sonam, you know, is actually generating wisdom as well. Wisdom, understanding the anicca. This is a very superficial level, you know, but if you go deeper to like
if you think well, then it sounds very funny, right? Like if you think impermanence in the deep, like it's also a very interesting, and also it sounds very funny, like, you know, like as we give an example of the cloud, you know, like in a relationship, we're trying to, you know, like stop that person, you know, never change. Like, you know, like we are ordering the nature to, you know, never rain or never sunrise or sunset. And we feel sad when it change, when it move. Actually, if we think deeply, there is no sense of, like, you know, it's very kind of nonsense, like, you know, like we are sad for no reason. So knowing the impermanence, like affect you, like it makes you positive in that way, is it?
Exactly. It takes time though, obviously,
of
you
course,
know,
right?
This is a very strong habit that we have, things to stay crystallized, you know. But
we always used to think we never die. Maybe
that also, exactly.
Like maybe we might be not thinking like we never die, but we think we used to think, we are used of thinking like we will not die tomorrow, or some years or some, like, is it like, but it is not true. Like we can't say whenever we die, like we can die after some minutes or after some hours, and but if we don't accept the reality, it causes us lots of disturbance to our mind. Is it?
Exactly.
So here I want to ask you one thing also. Again, before we further going deep into the philosophy, the oceans of the philosophy, I heard, like, as I said you before, like I'm going to ask you a question, as I'm not a non-Buddhist. So like I heard that Buddhism is not only a religion, it's scientific and it's logical, and there is a reason behind every teachings of Buddha. Is that true?
Yeah, of course.
So can you explain this with an example, please? Whatever you prefer.
So Buddha, when he teaches, it's very specific for that situation as well. But at the same time, he gives the teaching knowing that it is later going to be passed on, so people can actually get the wisdom from it. One good story that kind of came to mind now is this woman, talking about impermanence. There's this woman in India, like she was a single mom, I think, and then one day the son got really sick, and very, very sick, and died. And then she wouldn't accept it. She would not accept that the child was dead. So she just kept thinking he's sick only. So he kept going to different doctors, saying, "Please, can you heal my child?" And the doctors were like, "I'm sorry, but you know the child is dead. You can't fix it." And she was like, "No, and I'll go to another doctor." You know. And then eventually, like she managed to go to all the doctors, and no one was helping. So she heard about the Buddha. You know, and I said, "Oh, so maybe I'll go to ask him." So she brings the child. You know. And then she asked for an audience with the Buddha, and she managed to go in front of the Buddha and says, "Buddha, can you please heal my child? You know, he's very sick." And Buddha looks at the child, looks at the woman, and says, "Okay, actually, we can heal it. You just have to go to a house, to any household, you know, where no one has died, in which no one has died, and then you have to bring me some sesame seeds from that household, you know." And she says, "Okay, I'll do that." So then she goes from household to household, and she says, she knocks on the door, and she says, "Oh, did you have any sesame seeds, mustard seeds?" And then they say, yeah, we have." And she asks, "Oh, but did anyone die in this house?" You know, and they were like, yes, of course. And then she goes from house to house to house to house, and everyone says, "Yes, someone died here, someone died here, someone died here," you know. And then after like sort of a few days of doing that, she came to the realization. She realized, oh, you know, everyone dies.
Everyone dies.
So then, you know, she went back to the Buddha, and then she prostrated and said, "I understand now," you know. So actually,
so it's the reality.
So Buddha's teachings are very much like sort of the skillful means. Mostly, the skillful means to you to understand the wisdom. You know, so that's why it's quite scientific, because scientists actually use all kinds of methods to get something, to understand some kind of truth. You know, they do experiments, or they do calculations to kind of come to a conclusion, or they have maybe a hypothesis and then they try to prove it wrong, like this. So Buddha's teachings is very much similar. Like you do something in order to get the wisdom. Actually, every one of Buddha's teachings is sort of designed for you to get the wisdom.
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 What is wisdom?
Shut up. Prajna.
Shut up.
Prajna. Prajna. Like means like
knowing the reality.
Knowing the reality.
Is it?
Yeah. Knowing the reality. Knowing the reality like
but
that.
There is lots of wisdom, like, right?
Yeah, that's why it's a bit hard to define, especially in English. People consider wisdom.
I'm asking as a non-Buddhist, so you know, I'm asking, like, you know, what the wisdom according to you, like.
So many people say that wisdom is knowing inward.
Inward.
Like knowledge is when you know outside.
Okay.
Wisdom is when you know inside.
Know inside.
You know.
Okay.
But also, from a Buddhist point of view, it's actually knowing outside.
Knowing outside.
But knowing outside in a way that's connected to the inside. You know. For instance, like this woman, she did not accept the change. But through the skillful methods, she ended up accepting change. I mean, she probably had the knowledge of change, but she didn't really accept it in her heart. That's the wisdom. You know. So this is what Shantideva says in his 9th chapter. He says that every Buddhist teachings are designed for you to get the wisdom, which means understanding the reality. Actually, so that's why it's quite scientific, because in the end, what you want is the wisdom. You know, and it's very much.
I also saw that word, but in Tibetan, maybe I forgot. The second word is this, and I don't know the starting word. So everything, whatever we're doing, is for achieving the wisdom. So now we will try to go deeper into the Buddhism and its philosophy and whatever it practice. So the Buddha gave the first teaching was the Four Noble Truths, right? And many wise person, even me, according to my experience, I studied a couple of years Buddhist philosophy, and not only with faith, but little try to investigate or analyze according to my wisdom. And I find it very reasoning and logic behind it, and it seems like it is the truth. There is nothing to know, there is nothing to explain. Actually, it's all within ourselves, and that's all we need to know and need to do. Like what we need to do, what we need to know is we want to free from suffering, and we want true happiness. So can you please explain the Four Noble Truths and why it is reasoning, scientific, and very related to each and every suffering people?
Four Noble Truths is I have a lot of respect for that teaching. I don't feel qualified to be. I'll say what I sort of I have heard from others, you know, from my teachers and so on. Yeah, it was Buddha's first teaching, after he reached enlightenment, and he wanted to find his companions from when he was being an ascetic shamanera. So, Four Noble Truths are the truth of suffering, the dukkha, the truth of the cause, the truth of cessation, and the truth of the path, the Eightfold Noble Path, you know. And actually, the teaching is very short. He gave this the Four Noble Truths in 3 parts, in total, sort of like 12-fold. What he said was this: like, there is suffering. You know, there is suffering, but there is dukkha. Dukkha is not really appropriate to translate as suffering. It's more like dissatisfaction. Meaning, we're constantly searching. Constantly searching for the happiness, and always sort of dissatisfied. Even if we have sort of a little bit of happiness, it lasts very little, and again we're looking for the next. And this is the real dukkha, you know.
Is that the dukkha?
This is the real dukkha.
I'm little interrupting you here. Like as every billionaire or millionaire, the one who is the richest in the world, do you really think they are like unsatisfied and, you know, unhappy with their life, and they have lots of problems and sufferings, whatever?
No, I mean, it's not like they are like suffering a lot. Like, it's not like they're constantly miserable, but that's not really dukkha. Dukkha is very subtle. You know, it's sort of, billionaires, they have all this money, but then they probably are fearing to lose it. You know, and they do all these things to kind of keep their wealth and their influence and their power, you know, and it's kind of like,
always chasing.
They always want to become richer. Like, they always keep doing the next thing. And it's not like, for instance, look at the billionaires, right? They become a billionaire, and it's not like they just stop doing. Like, you know, most people would think, once I become billionaire, then what else is there to do? I'll buy myself a house somewhere, live out the rest of my days. But they don't do that. They're always doing something else. See, because like, even though they sort of have all this wealth and so on, then the moment they stop and do nothing, they have this little itch. The itch, I need to do something. I need to do something, you know? And then they start doing more things. So then you see all
Actually, it might be very difficult to, you know, like, stay in a specific kind of a stage, you know, like the richest person in the world at a time. But it is very difficult to hold that position for the long time, you know? Maybe it might be very difficult to, like, we don't look as from the outside, you know, we look at them as a maybe happy, rich person, good. But inside there may be lots of anxiety, and it might be, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen many of these examples even with some of my friends,
including yourself also. You know, you were earning well, and you know, like having that position, money, whatever. This is very difficult. Is it
and you
difficult?
still want to do something else. Yeah, exactly. You still want to do something else. You still like, you feel like, oh, now this is what is next. You know, always like that. What is next? What is next? It's like this. You know, and I see with many of my friends. Like I met many friends who even now they've become very rich. Very, very rich. But they also have quite a few sort of mental issues. Like some have depression, some have anxiety, some have addiction. You know, I really fail to find some friend who has become rich and is now completely satisfied and happy. I can't name one of. I can't really name one. You know, even people who become famous and so on. I used to work with this guy in Manchester, really nice guy, and then he ended up making a YouTube channel, became very successful, you know. And then after 2 or 3 years of that YouTube channel, he felt like dissatisfied again, you know, even though he got what he wanted. And then he abandoned it and he went to Mexico. You know, and then again he found some meaning, and then after that he moved somewhere else. So like, you know, there's always this constant search for something else.
Unsatisfied.
But this I'm not criticizing him or my friends in general. I'm saying like this is something we all have, you know, all the time. I mean, try to sit down for 10 minutes and do nothing. The itch will come. That's dukkha. You know, that's dukkha. You know, that's the real dukkha. Actually, it's very subtle. It's not like dukkha. Some people think dukkha is like the suffering of the hell realms, you know, like being burned alive or really like being depressed, completely depressed. Actually, yes, that's dukkha.
That is the very, what's it? Rakpa, what we call
course,
like course suffering, sick, illness, whatever those are the.
It's very superficial level of suffering. Like the deeper suffering is this exactly this itch that we have. We can't be satisfied, you know. And it's like this, and it manifests in many different ways. Especially when we have partners as well, we sometimes sort of project things to our partners, and if they don't satisfy that, then we're kind of like trying to change our partner, and like, oh, have to be like this, and if they're not, then you know, then that's when the issues start between relationships. You know,
these are all the sufferings actually.
So this is the normal. This is what Buddha said. This is the norm of reality. You know, I said this is the reality. Reality is we cannot sit down for 10 minutes and do nothing. We cannot. You know, this is the dukkha. You know, and then he said this is the first truth, and then the second truth he said there's a cause. Why? Why is it like this, you know? And depending on who you ask, if Mahayana, we would say that the cause is ignorance. You know, marikpa. I think in Sanskrit it's avidya.
Avidya.
So
avidya.
Avidya, maybe?
Maybe avidya. Avijja is Pali, maybe. Little bit pronunciation, we don't know Sanskrit and Pali well.
But it's like this is...
ignorance.
Ignorance means actually it's more like not knowing, because rikpa is like knowing. Knowing. Rikpa is not knowing. Even though, because the word ignorance in English is very much a like negative word, you know, like saying, oh, this person is ignorant, you know, but actually it means not knowing, not knowing the truth, not knowing the nature of reality, not knowing anicca, not knowing change. If not knowing change is actually one of the causes of why we have suffering, and then it goes deeper, like not knowing change,
emptiness.
It goes all the way to
anicca, mitapa, dungal, suffering.
Tendel. Tendel is I think Paritya Samutpada in Sanskrit, and then Sunyata, not knowing these sort of these aspects of reality, then that leads to the suffering, to the dukkha. But also, like if you ask some friends from the Pali tradition, from the Shravaka tradition, they would also say that the cause is craving. Wanting. So, because for them, craving is one of the biggest kleshas, or like, you know, afflictions. And Nyongmompa is the biggest one. For us, would be marikpa. I think. Marikpa, then followed by anger, followed by craving. Craving is down here. For the Pali is up here.
Different tradition, different practice.
Exactly. And then that's the cause. And then the third truth is the cessation. Tarpa.
Liberation is a right word for that?
No, there's another word for cessation. But anyway, cessation.
Whatever. The free from the suffering.
See, free from the cause, actually.
The cause.
Eliminating the cause. And Buddha just said that this is a truth, meaning that there is a way that we can be free of this. And this is actually quite sort of revolutionary. Because many people or many other sort of prophets and people who preach religion, they never say that, oh, you can be sort of free of this. It's sort of like, you will be free of this, but once you get there, and once you go to heaven,
or once you die.
Once you die and you go to heaven, then you'll be free of this. Right now it's sort of, but like Buddha said, no, even in this life, you can be free of this. Actually, you can reach enlightenment. This is enlightenment.
Here you said something very nice. We can free from all of the suffering. Is that true?
Yeah.
Like the suffering of illness, starting from illness, dissatisfaction, anxiety, depression, loneliness, and also the craving, itching, whatever you said, and all this suffering, we can be free from it.
Yeah, because
really,
it's a habit. It's just a habit. And habits can change. It's the wanting, the craving, the not knowing. It's all just habit.
What about depression, anxiety, and the mental problems and the bodily sickness and all? Can we be really free from these all things?
This, when it comes to the physical, is obviously reaching enlightenment is not like magic. Like, oh, now I'm going to be free of my cancer, or I'm going to be free of, I don't know, whatever sort of disability you have. It's not gonna. It's only going to change the way that you relate to that. So like, because reality sort of is how it is. Then it's how we react to that. Like whatever comes our way is what's going to come our way. But then how we sort of behave when that comes, how we react, how that affects us, that we can change. Because it's all mind. So for instance, if we have a really big illness, most people, they would become very depressed. But some people don't. My mother, she works in hospital, in a hospice, which is a place where people go to die. And she tells me about like different patients that she has, and some of them, when they know they're going to die or they have a terminal illness where they're never going to recover, they become very depressed and very sad. Others, they face it with such strength, and a lot of them, like they have faith and so on, and something else as well. But that doesn't matter, because they have that strength to face it, to face whatever comes, And that was
natural ability to.
Yeah, exactly. So this reaching enlightenment is about sort of eliminating all those bad habits, then whatever comes our way is not going to move us. We're going to be completely immovable. Nothing is going to affect us. It's not going to cause us suffering, whatever is happening outside. Even if disease, even if like death is about to come to us, if we sort of cultivated our mind, then for us it's not a.
So if I ask you, like, if you really practice well Buddhism, if you really follow the Buddha path, in this life, can you be free from all the sufferings, and can you be the enlightened and the whatever Tharpa in Tibetan Tharpa, or the liberation, enlightenment? Can you achieve that?
Yes, of course.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, can you little? No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking. Everybody want to be enlightened.
Yeah.
Many talks about it, and it's very wonderful to achieve such things. But many people don't know. Like I want to say, even it's not a new thing to. We all want to be happy, and we want such stage that we never get suffering and all. But we use many methods. Some use maybe from the starting we use wealth, earning, job, whatever. Because at the starting level we think money can make us happy, satisfied, happy life, good life. After we start, oh no, it is not in now. And again, we want to be happy, we want to be enlightened, we want to be free from suffering. But many of us, we don't know the path. So that's why I'm asking you, if you really practice the Buddhism, can you be free from the suffering in this life?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. What if we meditated every day? Maybe it's just 10 minutes on impermanence. Think about impermanence. Just like sit for 10 minutes and think, wow, I'm actually going to die one day. I don't know when. And everything is constantly changing around me. if we did that every day for 10 minutes, wow, like maybe in a few years, we'd be completely unfazed or unchanged by when change is coming to us. We would be unaffected. And that's a very subtle thing. Like, that's just like this aspect of change. Imagine if we meditated on sort of Paticca Samuppada or an interdependence. Everything being connected, everything just kind of like depending on everything else. So like that, or even on sunyata or in emptiness. If we did that, then in a few years, we'd be completely unchanged. We'd be completely sort of connected with reality. And that's enlightenment. The problem is that we're constantly doing. And actually, things are happening. Like, look, the wind is blowing the grass. There's always something happening, but we're completely disconnected from that. We're always connected to something that's going on in our minds only. Just connecting back to reality, and connecting to the happening, seeing reality as it is, it's possible. And then that's enlightenment. That's knowing everything as it is.
So there is a path to it, the fourth truth, right? The path to the liberation or the enlightenment. What is that? What it mean like?
It means the everything Buddha taught after that. Like Eightfold Noble Path. It starts with the right
view.
The right view. Right view is so important. Actually, especially for Mahayana. Like having the right view is very important. And this is where the wisdom comes in, because once you have the right view, everything will go along with it. But everything is sort of like feeding back to the right view as well. So there are many paths. Buddha mostly, well, he taught many paths actually. They say that he taught 84,000 different paths to enlightenment. But you can kind of categorize them in maybe like three different paths. The Shravakayana is for those who want to sort of like to reach enlightenment, or at least to be free of this dukkha very swiftly, very fast in this life like this. Then there's the Mahayana, which is for those who want others, also to reach this liberation, who are sort of brave enough to stay in this state that we're in, just to make sure that others also like free of that, And then there's the Vajrayana, which is sort of kind of advanced path for those who are really ambitious. Those who are brave and ambitious, and then they follow the Vajrayana, and each are for different sort of types of people. Like Asanga Maitreya, they sort of explain that there's sort of three types of rik, as well. Actually, it doesn't really fit these. It kind of like there's another sort of type of being like the Patrika Buddha, the Rangsangye, But it sort of shows that some people are inclined to different things. So depending on like what your inclination is, then you're probably more apt to follow one path or the other.
Okay.
So yeah,
I heard like as you said, there is the major three path to become liberation or what like, and also all these three is like included in Sultim Tingze and Sherab. Is that so? What is that practice like? I heard or even I studied like it's saying to liberate ourselves. Mostly we have to practice Sultim. It's a discipline. I don't know the English word.
Discipline,
Maybe the word was
Shila.
Shila. Discipline kind of, right?
It's more like cooling. Cooling. Shila means like cooling. Because the problem is with English, the word discipline is often associated to military discipline. Like following things like this. But actually, discipline Sultim is about cooling. Cooling the desire, the burning desire.
Cooling, meditation,
the samadhi,
and wisdom, right?
Samadhi would be something,
something,
and then Sherab is the wisdom,
right? Yeah. What is this practice?
So actually, Shila means like, as I said, it means like cooling down the burning desire, and it's called discipline because it involves a whole list of no's, like don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Because it's sort of like putting up traffic signs that tell you, okay, now go to this speed, now turn right, now turn left, because Buddha saw that we are sort of entangled with all these different habits. We have all these habits, and we're sort of obsessed with what's in front of us, and all these little mental elaborations that we have, looking for fame, looking for wealth, looking for comfort, and all this. So Buddha said, okay, so if you follow Shila, you will sort of cool down that burning desire to keep doing things.
Okay.
So gym is very good because it sort of like tames the body.
Yeah.
Once the body is tamed, then the mind is much easier to work with. Very easy to work with. Because imagine you try to meditate and you sit down and your body's not tamed. After like 5 minutes, you probably want to do something. So you'll say, oh, I forgot I had to do this task. And you'll get up and do it. And then you'll never be able to meditate. So if you have this discipline of like knowing when to do what at what time and so on, to like kind of keep the body in check, then the next step can come, the samadhi, like the concentration. Then you can sit and meditate. And then when you're meditating, that is further cooling the mind, or at least like it's sort of developing this ability for the mind to focus on one thing. There's something, like there's some samadhi, it's like focusing on one point, and what that will do is, firstly, it would allow you to see how crazy your mind actually is. And then
we get to know how it's a monkey mind.
Then you get to know the monkey mind, the elephant mind, and even the little rabbit.
Also, of course.
So then slowly you start to see how crazy the mind is. That's at the beginning. And then slowly you start to tame that mind. Because first you're taming the body with your discipline. Then you're taming the mind with the samadhi. Making sure that the mind is nice and calm, like your thoughts are not like rushing in like a waterfall, but rather like become like a nice vast lake. There's like very few waves, very few thoughts. And that's the second step. And the third step would be to develop the wisdom. Because once the mind is in this very stable, then you can start developing the wisdom. How? Actually, there's many ways of developing this wisdom. Like from the Shravaka point of view, it's sort of about asking questions, analyzing the what makes you you. Where are you exactly? Where is the self? Where is the you? And then once you can't find that you, that's sort of like baselessness. That's the wisdom that comes up, and we can't really go into that and explain what that is, because as Buddha said, that's kind of beyond the words. It's an experience that you get.
It's more related to emptiness, is it?
It's emptiness of the self. From the Shravaka point of view, from a Mahayana, we start questioning like everything, phenomena. Like you say, okay, so when did this grass shoot start? Where's the beginning of this grass shoot? Does it come from a cause? Does it have an effect? And then really analyzing reality down to its constituents and really like questioning everything through logic. This is at least the Chitta Matra, Sampa, and the Madhyamaka or Umapa way, sort of analyzing until you sort of realize that actually there's nothing really holding everything together. Like every other thing is holding every other thing together. This is Padita Samutpada, or tendril, interdependence. Co-emergence. Everything is kind of like coming together because other things are coming together. So there's no real base. Like for instance, like some religions, they cannot really fathom this, so then they have to have a base. And most of the time the base they call God. So that way they feel a bit safer. It's like, oh, there's something to stand upon. There's God is there. But in Buddhism, it's sort of like, no, if you want to experience reality, you have to let go of everything and experience that weightlessness. That's the true enlightenment, So like when you jump out of a plane, or if you jump out of a cliff into the water, you have this moment where you're in the middle of the air and there's nothing holding you together, or at least holding you down. You have this really weird feeling inside, but that's really where it is, It's like the baselessness, So that this is the wisdom aspect, getting to that point. And we actually kind of do this by even doing debate. Like when we do debate, we're actually like sort of debating all these different things, and we kind of get to some conclusions. But then those conclusions, then we need to sort of bring into the samadhi. Once we've done the right practice and the mind is very calm, like an ocean, then we need to actually bring that in to actually really make a change and really like sort of reach the enlightenment, like that,
You explained really well, it seems like today you will liberate me.
No, sure.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Yeah,
I'm just repeating like what I heard.
I'm really happy to see you explain so well. And also I forgot to ask you one important question. It should be asked before. Like after that, you studied your university after job, and you decided to study Buddhism further. And after you decided to become a monk, what was that journey? And why you actually you explained very well today. You talked very well. That just maybe it's mostly because you became a monk and you got a full time to study and analyze the Buddhism and its philosophy. Is that right? So, what the motivation behind you that becoming a monk?
So many things kind of came together, and so I never thought of becoming monk.
Oh, yeah.
For many years I was like, I really don't want to become monk because I liked girls too much.
Yeah, that's true. That's the honest answer. Yeah. It's for the obvious.
Yeah. And also many other reasons, But
actually, you guys got that chance, you could be either monk or not. For us, like, we don't get even that chance, We are monk from the childhood. When I was 8-year-old, I'm a monk from the 8-year-old. So we don't have that chance. You are the lucky person.
Well, I mean, there's advantages to that, and also advantages. Yeah. But so actually what happened was one day, it's in 2019, I actually was invited to this retreat to learn about Vinaya. It was like
in your country?
Yeah, in Spain. We had the Kempo Pema, who was a Tibetan. It was like a college, and he actually lives in the United States now. He came to Spain and he taught Vinaya for 2 weeks. His English was really good. And then we were practicing be a monk every day for those 2 weeks. And that was like my turning point, because then I realized, actually, this is for me. I like this, because I was quite disciplined when I was young. I like to kind of follow like a routine and so on, and quite disciplined with what I eat and how my timetable, everything. I was quite, and whenever that timetable or whenever my diet was sort of like thrown out the window, maybe I was traveling or whatever or something, or I left it, then I felt not good. So I always felt really good when I was following like my discipline. So and something also that I was taught by some of my teachers, they were saying that Buddhism can't really survive without monks. Like you need true. Even Buddha said this when he was passing, like when in the Paranirvana, Mahaparinirvana Sutra.
It's really true, like even in this time, mostly the monks are focusing on studying Buddhism and its philosophy, and of course the most practitioner are the monks and the gurus, lamas. Maybe it's quite seems true, right?
Yeah. But there's historical evidence for this. Like I said, when Buddha was passing, he said, "I'm really happy because now I established Buddhism because I established the fourfold sangha." He said, "I have established monks, fully ordained monks, fully ordained nuns, laymen and lay women who are practicing Buddhism. Now this is a Buddhist country. Now Buddhism will thrive." And then in many other sutras, he would say things like, and we know this. There's 8 sort of births that are not good for practicing Dharma. One of them is being born in a borderland, like being born in a place where there's no Buddhism. But when Buddha was defining this, what means a borderland? He was saying a place where the fourfold sangha is not there. A place where there's no fully ordained monks, fully ordained nuns, lay women. So for a land to be Buddhist, it needs to be monks and nuns. And you see this in history. Buddhism kind of spread all around, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Indonesia, China, Japan, and so all these countries. But if you look at the places where Buddhism still survives and the places where Buddhism sort of died, what happened was, firstly, the monks and nuns disappeared, and then Buddhism disappeared after. Look at
eventually.
Yeah. Look at Afghanistan. Afghanistan was and Pakistan was called Gandhara. It was a huge Buddhist country. Like if you dig under the ground there, you will find Buddhist statues everywhere. You know.
Once it was the epic center, right?
Oh, it was even like if you look at Google, the Bamiyan Valley, there's the biggest statues of Buddha in the world. They were blown up by the Taliban lately, but all the caves, there's a monastery like carved into the mountain, like an ant's nest, you know. And there's many other places like this. And then you have also Indonesia, where you have Borobudur, which is the biggest Buddhist temple in the world. In Indonesia, Buddhism is gone there.
But no Buddhism there.
Yeah, because the monks
and nuns are not there.
Same in India. India, when the Mughals came and started sort of ransacking and eliminating all the monasteries, the monks disappeared, the nuns disappeared, then Buddhism disappeared with it, you know. And then you have Tibet, where the monks and nuns survived, Buddhism survived. China, Buddhism survived. Japan, Buddhism survived, you know. So so if you want Buddhism to survive, we need Buddhist monks and nuns, you know.
So that's why you thought of becoming a monk.
Oh, I said I really need to do something about this, you know, about
to
keep this alive.
To keep this alive and give some words your contribution.
Contribution.
Small contribution.
Because I can, you know, like some people, some people, for them becoming a monk or a nun is very difficult.
Of course.
But for me,
it's a very big decision.
There's also the discipline is not easy to keep. But because I enjoyed it, I thought actually I'll do it, you know, because for me it's good. So and also because it gives you more, as you said, more time and more resources to like really dive deep into the Dharma also, you know, into Buddhism, because that's really like the monks and nuns' job is to keep Buddhism alive, keep studying it, keep practicing it.
So now you enjoying the monk life?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's good. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Even from your, you know, like postures and your facial, and it's glowing, you know. It sees from your face, and you know, whatever the calmness and happiness, it is there.
It's all thanks to the community. Like actually, being a monk or nun is mostly about the community also.
Yeah, that's
being a solitary monk and nun, it's possible, but usually it takes time and training. You have to first live in a community, you know, and so because the community here is quite good.
You
know,
and also our environment is beautiful.
Exactly. So that's why, you know, it's makes it easier.
So after you become a monk, of course, not only become a monk, even who want to like really study the Buddhism or Buddhist philosophy, they don't need to become a monk, right? It's not that important. If you can study, you can study as a lay people. But if you become a monk, there is lots of facilities and more opportunities, whatever. So as it's a very you're kind of a motivator, or what should I say, like influencer. I can say like you are a influencer for many foreigners, many influencer or whatever. Which word is compatible?
Influencer is more like social media influencer. Like
so which word?
An example.
And the word.
So be an example, like
example.
Example.
Example. You are the example for many lay people and the foreigners and all to like not only indulge in earning monies and after the fame and whatever, and try to find a way that makes you really satisfied, and you know that gives you a meaningful life. So as you choose as a Buddhist or studying Buddhism and whatever, so okay, as to study Buddhism as a lay people, foreigner or Indian or whatever, whoever, how should we start study Buddhism? What we have to do, how we have to start, where we have to study?
It really depends on each person. You know, like if you have the choice, I mean, it's good to start from the beginning. You know, maybe start by reading Buddha's philosophy biography. Yeah, that's a really good start, you know, like knowing Buddha. Because if we want to be Buddhist, like we really need to understand Buddha. You know, he's the center of all
founder.
This. Exactly. So like reading his biography is really good, you know, and And then if you have the choice, many people, they start, maybe they go to an empowerment, suddenly boom, they receive an empowerment, or they go to like a 10-day Vipassana course,
okay.
you know, so it really depends. Like the entryway is very different for each person. But if you have the choice, yeah, why not start by reading a biography about Buddha? There's so many. There's one by Thich Nhat Hanh called Old Path, White Clouds. It's very beautiful.
Okay.
And when reading some basic Buddhist books, like, you know, What Makes You Not a Buddhist, and so on. But I think most important, because Buddhism is an Indian wisdom tradition, which means it's a tradition whose backbone is the Guru Shishya Parampara. Meaning Guru meaning teacher, Shishya meaning disciple, student, Parampara meaning continuation or lineage. So actually, Buddhism survives because of this. Like you sort of need to receive that transmission from somebody who has received it from somebody who has received it from somebody, goes all the way back to Buddha himself. So actually, for Buddhism to properly sort of be introduced to oneself, so it needs to be heard. And that's why in you know, even in Tibetan we say Nyen Sam Gom. Nyen means to listen. We say like a study, contemplation, you know, meditation, like Nyen Sam Gom. The Nyen means to listen, actually. Means to like actually like hear and listen to Dharma. It's very important. So to really start, it's good to hear Dharma from somebody, anybody really, and ask for the basic things as well. You know, like, so like, who is Buddha? You know, what did the Buddha teach? Many basic things, and hear it from somebody, because then you become part of the parampara, you become part of the lineage. You know, so this is very important, because picking up a book and just reading a book, it's a bit like dead knowledge. It's dead. Like there's no lineage behind it. You know, you're just sort of reading something that's there. You know, but if you hear it from somebody, then it creates a really good connection. And it's much better. In fact, when I receive teachings by hearing them, I often remember them a lot better than if I read them from a book.
It's effective. Once you believe or faith to a teacher or lama, we used to say, many of people don't know lama means a guru, teacher, right? Actually, the religious teacher. Even, you know, I feel little uncomfortable to use religious for the Buddhism, because, you know, whatever the teacher, lama, it means teacher. You know, as he mentioned, if you directly hear teachings from the specific teacher, it is more effective and more like helpful to understand.
Exactly. And also, we have to be careful who we listen from, because many teachers are very quick to wanting to be your teacher. And so now you're my student. It's better to stay away from that kind of view. Really, it's better to sort of listen somebody who has like the qualities of you know, humility, very humble, very kind, and disciplined. You know, and knowledgeable. You know, like who knows, who is also humble about it, who's kind. It's very important, actually, because nowadays, many, as I said, many gurus.
If you honestly say, many teachers and lamas are there who kind of fraud them. Like, you know, they work, they shows like their teachings, but they're really doing for the money and all.
I mean,
you all have to be aware about it. You know, even if we should say openly.
Yes, of
like,
course.
you know, as all the humans are not same, all the doctors are not good, all the teachers are not good. So as there is a many fake lamas and gurus also, so you guys have to be careful and make sure that whom you what's it? Temba, lama temba. What is lama temba?
Receive the teachings from?
Receive a teaching, acceptance, someone as a teacher.
Rely, you mean? Rely. Rely,
you rely as a teacher.
And in fact, I mean, you can consider them a teacher. Like, technically, when you receive sort of teachings from somebody, they sort of are your teacher, but at the same time, you can also be curious and just sort of listen and see, let's see what he has to say. You know, you don't have to go and adopt a teacher right away. You know, and
analyze.
Analyze is very important. And again, with these qualities, it's very important to see this. And and to realize that, yeah, like in the end, like what you want is the Dharma. You want to know the teachings. You want to sort of get the same wisdom.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's why it's, I said Indian wisdom tradition, like because the wisdom is sort of passed on from like the teacher to the disciple, Guru Shishya Parampara. So yeah, it's important to also approach it with with patience and with humility as well as a student as well.
And the last, maybe I said before it was the last, but I think it should be the last question. Like after you join or you connect to the Buddhism and you studied for long, and of course still you are studying and you will study longer, and so how much it helped you to change your life, and what it gives you to a vision or some changes, really changes in your life, and it's really helping you.
So me to see things a bit more clearly, at least, and also to see myself a little bit more clearly.
Okay.
You know, like I can sort of see what my nonsense, like like my habits and so on.
That's the honest answer.
It's like it's good, and actually it can be a bit uncomfortable at first when you start to see your own bad habits and so on. But once you see, then you can start managing. You can start managing it.
Then after we will try to change that.
Yeah, exactly.
After first we have to accept or the bad ghost or whatever demons.
Exactly. So it's like that, and also, it's also helped me, especially like the environment also helped me become more sort of genuine. Throw away all my fakeness. Because in the West you can acquire a lot of you sort of have to you have to adapt to. You have to pretend to be somebody in front of others, but here I've sort of like let go a little bit of that that fakeness. It's helped me a lot, because here people are very honest, very open, very transparent. So it helps you to be like that as well. And I've acquired quite a lot of knowledge.
A lot of knowledge. Of course, it also have to practice you deeper. Maybe it motivates you always to achieve the enlightenment more and more.
Yeah, exactly. It's helped me to develop more faith. Faith, confidence, I say. Faith is a bit of a blind sort of thing, but like confidence.
You can say,
confidence in the teachings, confidence in what Buddha taught, and confidence in the Mahayana also, and then the people that are following it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also you learned Tibetan language.
Yeah, that also.
Tashi Delexo.
Oh, Tashi Delexo.
Dewa.
Oh.
Tengsa ne da mi se zongsa la kande do de cha.
De yapo dogit.
Yapo dogit. Lobjong yapo che koryu yapo ro.
Oh, koryu.
So kande do chi du.
Pe yapo. Pe yapo da. Pe yapo. Ya, tengsa namshi 그래. mamukito
가산에 담어도 디릭tis 남시 야포차.
예, 저도
그래. 디링 가서 비디오 줘라. 어디 제가 this 건조기 가서 로포체 인사. Yeah. Re. So with this much we going to stop this conclude this conversation. And it was nearly, I'm sorry, it was really nice conversation with you. I didn't expect this much, like we tried hard as much we can to discuss about many things, life, Buddhism, practice, whatever. And not only this video, in future also this kind of video, we will try to make many videos like this. And I lastly thank my friend Nico, or the Ngawang Temba. Now he's become Bhikshu and Gelong. There is a word for English word for Gelong? No, not really.
Fully ordained monk.
Full ordained monk.
Yeah, very long.
So really, thank you so much. Actually, friends, no need to thanks, but he accept my request to come in my podcast and discuss and talk on these things. I feel like it is very relevant to talk with him and discuss with him, because he, as he talked about the many things, he lived the both side of life, as lay people and as a monk. And also he's a very nice guy, good, he study well, good practitioner, and I wish more, and he will achieve more and more. So at the last, you have to say something.
No, thank you for having me. Really, yeah, really kind of you. And yeah, I really enjoyed talking. I mean, I always enjoy talking to you, but
Yeah,
like
of course, me
this is a very much elaborate, Dharma talk.
yeah. Even, you know, like we are very what's that, neighbor. Our rooms are very neighbor, and we are friends. So every day, maybe the most of the time, we talk about these things, and we discuss, we debate and all, and we really enjoyed. I really enjoyed also. And thank you so much to come, and I wish for your betterness for future.
Likewise,
And in future also, we will try to make such videos for the people and all. And hope you guys like this video, and you will get, I hope you will get many things to know. And with this much, I'm conclude this video. If you like, subscribe my channel, like, share, and comment. And if you have any suggestions, you can comment below. Okay, then until next video, take care of yourselves, stay calm, connect with the positivity, and never lose hope. Okay, bye bye. Tashi the lake, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the lake.
Okay. Jule.